Oh, welcome back, dear viewers. Once again, I hit the record key instead of the button I was aiming for, so I hope you didn't miss too much there. Anyway, I was just checking the Book of the Sky to see if there were any spells with particularly good synergy with Kozlov, and not really, though it does have Tornado in it, which is a fantastic spell in its own right. Very, very good spell. Fire Drakes, feel like we can just attack him. Now that item destruction is no longer a thing, these guys are much less scary, because there's a big difference between an enemy that's ranged and does high damage and an enemy that destroys your precious resources right in front of you and laughs. I don't know that that's how fire dragons would sound particularly. Maybe the fire imps, the red imps. Okay, well that's layer 5. Pretty sure we can do layer 6 no problem. We're pretty strong right now. And we're not even at max piety with Kozlov. I feel like that's going to be really cool. Bob! Powerful gargoyle monk. Yikes. Venom bolt, magic dart, mephitic cloud. Huh. Stats that are just crazy. I'm going to use a consumable resource on this, I think. I seem to recall Bob was pretty strong by this point, and he died to something like some kind of hubris mistake that, yeah, I think I want the added evasion against him. Okay, so yeah, I think we're protected from this stinking cloud. No, we're only immune to our own clouds. Well, that's still okay. We have poison resistance, which is why I'm not too concerned. And as long as we're in poison, he's not going to cast one of his, I guess, Venom Bolt. But yeah, we have resist poison, so we're reasonably well set up against him. I just seem to recall that he also had like really good melee damage. Maybe not. We don't seem to be taking much damage here. It might have been unnecessary. I mean, we're having a really hard time killing him. Okay, there we go. Very agile Bob was. Let's maybe not stand in this cloud anymore. Fighting a level 7, dodging a level 5. Our evasion has gone up to level 8. I don't know if that was this time or not, or if it was a function of getting dexterity. Does our axe have dexterity on it? Yeah, it could be a function of that. I still kind of want to get dodging up a little bit higher. This setup seems fine for now. I want to get disaster area down to 15 or below. And then we'll turn off invocations for a while at least. Invocations do boost the damage of your god abilities as well as the failure rate. I'm pretty sure. I believe that most of the abilities have some formula that uses invocations as a factor. When I turn off invocations, I'll probably turn on crossbows. And turn off dodging by level 10. And then we're pretty much gravy. We can just leave on, at that point we can leave on whatever we're using at the time and basically be good. Like, we don't have many skill requirements. We have to sort of make up reasons to use skills, or to train skills. Unlike many spellcasters that just, to have any effect in the game, need to train 4 or 5 spellcasting skills alone, on top of any defensive abilities that they want, or utility abilities. Okay, Hydra. Let's switch over to this rod and make sure to assign our battle axe to letter A here. Cool. All right. Let's do lightning and lightning again. Yeah. All right. Managed to kill the Hydra without having to close with it in melee range. Layer 6 can sometimes spike a little bit in damage, or in difficulty. We hear a bellow. It sounds like a yak, or a death yak. Death yaks are pretty scary. We would have to retreat from death yaks. Ooh, I do like the look of this Stone of Tremors, however. The adder is not a threat to us, so I didn't particularly care that it was following us around. I just wanted to be efficient with our movement. I didn't see any need to stop and kill it to avoid facing it and another enemy at the same time, for example. Motor Dragon can deal some damage, but we set it on fire, so we win. Yeah, there are a lot of crazy clouds surrounding us. Spiny Frog is slowing down because of the axe. Oh, I see. Things are periodically struck by lightning in those thunderclouds, it seems. I don't know if that's for sure, but it seems rather than a constant damage effect, it's a occasional. Yeah, I mean, we could just slaughter these yaks. No problem whatsoever. I mean, a quarter of our hit points gone, a third of our hit points gone. Just easy peasy. Of course, it does make resting a little tricky when we're around plants. That's a little frustrating, but yeah, what can you do? Air globes, they're not glowing, don't care. Probably the same as ours, maybe worse. Okay, we have several kinds of bolts. Need to remember that. Good, a scroll of identify. Alright, let's just commit some micocide here. Actually, I don't know if that would be the proper term, because genocide would be the destruction of an entire genus, right? And the myco family is what I don't know if myco is a suffix, like if it's, you know, just a standard, like I don't know if that is the genus abbreviation or what. So it could just be like fungicide, which sounds okay too, I guess. I like mycocide better. Killing all the fungi is what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the Stone of Tremors that we picked up can summon a bunch of earth elementals and do damage to things around us. It's a very nice sort of one-off evocable. Worms. The Worm Vault. Usually on level 7 there's at least one sort of mini vault area where there's a theme with the monsters. Such as worms. On the bottom level, level 8, there virtually always is. Ah, Cloak. That was the other armor slot that I was missing. Back slot. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're in pretty good shape here. I feel strong. I mean, we can get into situations like this where we can just sort of test our mettle against numerous foes that can't really kill us because we just walk away from the water. yeah, I feel pretty strong. Kozlol is neat. We have yet to really use the invocations. We summoned elementals once, I think, is all we've done with it. Partly because this Amulet of Guardian Spirit makes me less less inclined to use abilities that cost mana, but also partly because we've been low on mana as a result of it. By the time we've thought of using a god ability, we've generally been low enough on mana that we haven't been able to use the god abilities, or wouldn't have wanted to, even had we had the chance. Playing frogs. Oh no! Oh, and a Hydra. Ooh, let's go this way, shall we? Let's try our. A rod. Let's breathe fire at it too. Huh. Okay. Wow. Well, that did some stuff. What about? Let's do draining. And then just hit it with the rod. Okay, that worked. That worked just fine. We still have blink frogs to contend with, but that's okay. They don't grow new heads when we hit them. That is acceptable. An executioner's axe. Those are really powerful. They are the most powerful, in fact. Love executioner's axes. Short of some crazy triple sword nonsense, executioner's axe I think is the strongest weapon in the game. Except for, giant clubs and giant dire flails, and the ones that can only be wielded by like ogres, I think. I think only ogres. Maybe formicids. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You need 26 skill in axes to reach minimum delay with this weapon. Okay, it's just a +0 executioner's axe, so it's not really worth it. Like our, yeah, this is 20 versus 18 of the other, so we can just drop this for now. If we find a scroll of branding or something, I guess, would be the only reason why we would. I think they removed scrolls of branding, so I don't think that's a thing anymore. I don't know if there's any way to enchant items at this point. Wait, plain deck of cards, cool. We'll take it. You destroy the fungus. Yeah, we're really strong. Remember how much trouble we had with Black Mambas? We don't have that trouble with Black Mambas anymore. A gnarled ruined staff. We don't care about staves. They are useless to us. Okay, the question here is, do we take on layer 8? I kind of feel like we can, unless it's the Hydra layer, or the Hydra ending. Let's poke our heads in and just look around a little bit. And immediately there's a Hydra. Okay. That entrance is brutal. What about this one? Better. Sheep. I wonder if maybe I need to find a useful mace/flail so that I can actually attack those Hydra with some efficiency. Although I believe the rods count as maces and flails if you smack things with them. Cool. Oh, a boring beetle. Yeah, it is really boring. Let's try poison. I think it's probably immune to poison. Oh, it is susceptible to poison, so it was the right choice. Excellent. Not that it worked, but cool. Boring beetles are not incredibly strong. I mean, they hit hard. They're kind of like Goliath beetles or whatever. But they're really annoying if you don't kill them right away because they just grind their way through the walls. And you can hear it from the entire level, across the entire level. Okay, evasion is still 8. I kind of want to turn off dodging at this point. It doesn't look like we're getting a lot of return for it. But I'm kind of stubborn, too. And if we ever find some insane armor that we need to switch to, might become better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe turn it off for now. I feel like, what are our god abilities at? Disaster area is at 12%. Okay, I think we can turn off invocations. I probably should have turned it off right at level 8, but that's okay. So let's start putting points into crossbows. Yeah, I like this setup. Seems good. There may be death yaks accompanying these yaks at some point, but it doesn't look like in this pack. Ooh, there's a Hydra between us and the exit. Let's kill those yaks first. And fireball the Hydra twice. We'll switch over to this rod and just bash it down. Is that working all right? Seems to be. It's not a very powerful weapon, but all right. There we go. Just bash it down with a -3 rod. Yeah, because it's a base accuracy +3, base damage +5, so it's really, really weak. I think we can. I wonder what happens if we do this. Let's try reading a scroll of recharging. Yeah, that's what it does. Scrolls of recharging can be used to power up rods rather than just recharging wands. You can use them to make rods much, much better. So now we can get 2 uses out of this rod when we switch over to it instead of just 1. And it recharges more rapidly, but that's not incredibly relevant right away. Until we find a much better rod, for example. But this one's not bad. Explosive bolt is fine. Let me just pick up some hippogriff meat here and move back over to the staircase. I feel like if everything knows where we are, a torpor snail. This is new in 0.15. A huge gastropod with a rock-hard shell. Ah, Che Burrito's punishing me for not following him this time. Radule? Radule? I don't know. Weird snail mouth. Yeah, so, for example, oop. Oh, yes, that's right. Rods do use hunger to fuel them. But that's fine. Bam. I ventured probably too far in there. Yeah, this is a fun character. There's a lot going on visually. All these clouds are a little tricky to to move quickly through, just because I'm afraid that I'm going to mistake something else as a cloud, which is actually an enemy. that wants to kill me, and I'll just wander into it and die. Ooh, Fanner. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, let's, wow. Oh, right, yeah, he has icy armor. Zakubu's refrigeration, that's what it is. Well... let's see if we can't just kill him. We don't get a bonus to damage against him, because he's a cold wizard. But our clouds are still effective if he blinks away a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. We don't care about either of those things, so, you know, not rolling around in riches as a result, but that's fine. And, you know, I'm not sure that we'll really get too far into this crossbow business, but I want to have a reasonable amount of skill in it in case we find a crazy triple crossbow or whatever in the later game. And sometimes, you know, we're just going to need ranged attacks and we don't have another option. Because we're out of mana or what have you. Oh, we can identify some more potions. Let's figure out what these are. Potions of mutation. We can go ahead and drop those. If I really want to play mutation roulette, I can always come back later. The only time that I generally like to play mutation roulette, that is quaffing numerous potions of mutation in hopes that you end up with a net positive set of mutations. The only time that I really like doing that is when I found the wizard tower, or the wizard laboratory of the, I think it's the Abyss Wizard. I don't remember the name of the wizard. But anyway, whichever wizard it is, it's just packed full of potions of mutation. There are, I think I got 27 potions of mutation one time, and that's the perfect setup to play mutation roulette. Potion flight. Okay, cool. Because it gives you can sort of reset and start over numerous times, or you can just keep adding on if you absolutely need to. This might be an elephant ending. I think the elephant ending comes behind a ruined door. It's going to be... ooh, we got worms. Fortunately, we don't need our intelligence for anything. I've always thought it was interesting that the difference in lore, like some sets of lore have a definite difference between worm with an O, a Y, and a U. Some agree, some disagree. I think my favorite was the one where not only was there a difference between those three, but there was a subtle difference of pronunciation, so people could always tell which one you were calling them. Ooh, a lindworm. That's kind of scary, actually. Well, what do I want to do? I think I want to evoke a Wand of Draining. Yeah, okay, and then try and beat it up. Oh, well, that was much easier than I expected. But yeah, it was worms with an O were, you know, earthworms, useless, wriggly things. Ooh, another Stone of Tremors, cool. Worms with a... jeez. I think worms with a Y were like drakes, like unintelligent, but very, very dangerous. And then worms with a U were like giant crazy powerful things. I don't really recall, but anyway. Let's try out this new wand that we have in our possession. Wand of Polymorph. Oh, that's kind of a cool wand. It's one of those rarely used but very nice to have when it is kind of wands. When it works, it's awesome. What is this ring? Is it a ring of ice? We don't care about that. Same reason we don't care about the ring of fire. And our intelligence will regenerate at some point, but it's a little annoying that it lets us know every single time that we're engulfed in our own cloud. Just because it scrolls through the chat log a lot faster, and so you can miss things, but I don't know that it's really that important. Ooh. Model Dragon can yield armor, which is useless to us, but good for spellcasters. It's kind of like leather armor plus. Also protects you from sticky flame, which is rarely relevant once you've killed the model dragon that gave you the armor. But it can be really useful. Sometimes you just die to sticky flame, and it's a sad day. How could we block the sticky flame with our magical shields? Oh, there's a big dragon there. Big daddy dragon. It may be an option to fireball and try and get a cloud of steam, but I think a better option is to use the Wand of Draining on it. And try and get out of the way here, so that not too much of this can be bashing us at once. Fortunately, yeah, our Freezing Axe is very good against Fire Dragons. Fire Dragon Hide is an option. I mean, not the hide, but enchanting some Fire Dragon Hide to turn it into Fire Dragon Armor is an option. I think it's less protective than Plate Mail, and I just don't like it as much because it gives you the ice vulnerability. So I think we're going to go for our plate armor still. Plate Mail. Potion of Porridge. Potion of Porridge is cool because it can it only takes a round to drink as per other potions, but it fills you up a ton, like a whole lot. So if you have spell hunger problems or hunger from other source problems like Hungry Ghost or what have you, and you find yourself starving and you really need to not be starving for whatever reason, you can quaff a potion of porridge and you'll be fine. Slime pits. Slime pits are cool. I mean, they're not random, they'll be there every time, but okay. Death Yak, plural. That was cool, but not incredibly effective. Okay. We kind of have to be careful here. If they actually surround us, they can do a lot of damage really quickly. But we're also doing a lot of damage really quickly, so I think we're okay. This is actually really cool that we are strong enough to kill Death Yaks. I mean, those weren't even really a problem. I'm sure if they had fully surrounded us, it could have been a little tricky, but we just kind of chopped our way through them, and that was really very nice. Okay, I'm feeling very hungry. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I kind of want to open this ruined door. I'm a little scared. Let's eat something first. Let's just eat this royal jelly. They removed the special stat restoration property from royal jelly, which actually would be relevant to us right now. All right, we're going to open this door and hope that it is not the end of this character. Blink frog and an ice dragon. Okay. I think we can do this. Boom. This is a good run. Very good run. Excellent. Well, that's the layer clear. From start to the end of the game to end of the layer in what, 2 hours? Hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. So not bad. Not exactly a speed run, but I think it's fairly difficult to do a speed run and give commentary, because I like to actually explain things before I move on to the next thing that I'm doing. There are some recorders that can do both, but I am not one of them. But maybe I'll do a speed run one day. I'll cut down on the chit chat and see how fast I can zip through. But regardless, today is a lazier day, so I'll wrap up this video here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.